What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today we have something new for our 2022 Jeep JL. So as you can see, the Jeep is pretty plain, pretty stock. We have the stock wheels, stock tires, stock plastic bumpers. I haven't really done a whole lot to this Jeep yet, but I do have some things in my mind planned, and we do have some parts as well that are gonna be maybe transforming this a little bit into more of an off-roader rather than just your standard stock Jeep. And today we have a box from Boost Auto, and we're going to be changing out these boring mirrors for something a whole lot more functional and with a whole lot more style. So let's open up our box and see what we have inside here. Right on the top, we have our Boost Auto decal. We do have a koozie, and there's actually something inside here I can feel. We do have their social media card right here. And we do have a magnet as well. So we can go ahead and put that right here on the fridge. Good to go. So we do have some wiring here, a whole lot of wiring, because some of these runs do have to go a fair distance. So they give you plenty to be able to get them where they need to go. And we have some more harnesses over here. Everything looks very good quality. You can see we do have the covering on here as well. And then this is something that I've been waiting for, my first Jeep duck. So we do have the Boost Auto rubber ducky, which is going to be going on the dash of the Rubicon because, well, I don't have any and I'm kind of feeling left out. And down in here we have more stuff. We have some wire taps, we have some fuses, and all of that good stuff that is required for the wiring setup that they have for our new mirrors. So right here you can see also with Boost Auto parts, these are 100% end of the line tested in the USA and assembled in the USA. So we do have very good quality control by our stamp of approval right there. Now let's get our foam out of the way here, and then we can see our new mirrors. This is the first time I'm seeing them, so let's see what we got. I might need two hands to get this out of the box. Yeah, I'm gonna need two hands. And check that out. We have our brand new mirror. You can see we do have two panels of mirror on here, and we do have a reverse light that's over here on the side. We have our connection there. This is a factory mounting position. And then over here, once we pull the plastic off, we can get a closer look at all the lights that are on the other side of it as well. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna remove our factory passenger side. You can see this is our very boring, plain, small mirror. And then we're going to install our one from Boost Auto and see what the difference looks like. So here's a last look at our factory mirror. All right, so we have our passenger door open. You can see that we have these exposed bolts. This is just the way the factory is. You are gonna have to remove your door panel, and I believe you have to have the window halfway down to be able to do the wiring the way Boost Auto has it with their kit. There's everything included with it, and on their video they show very detailed how you have to go through the whole process of wiring up everything for the lights to function with your factory harness. For me, of course, I have to go a little bit different and change things up a little bit because I want the functionality of mine to be a little bit custom. So you guys gotta bear with me on that. We will be able to do a demonstration today and show you guys how the lights all look and work on the Jeep, but it's gonna be more of a temporary thing for today because to do what I wanna do, it's gonna be a little bit more involved, and I'm gonna have to have the Jeep back at the shop for that because we're going to be doing that in a combination with some other things, so definitely stay tuned for that. So we got our long Torx from our factory kit, and we can loosen these mounting bolts for our factory mirror and get them out of the way and get this old mirror off. So just those 3 bolts on the inside to get the mirror removed, and then we have this one wire connection. Then there's a little bit of foam tape that you have to remove that's on our mounting surface right over there. And our factory mirror is removed, and we can set that aside. All right, so now we're fishing our harness from the hole where the mirror goes through to the inside of our door here. I made my own little fish here just with some, there's actually a piece of wire shelving, and I had to cut a rung out of it, so I got something that'll bend and be able to get through here. It is a little bit tricky sometimes to follow that harness through by where the window frame and all that is, and it's kind of small, but we ended up getting it to the other side. I have the harness taped to it on the other end, and now we're just gonna carefully pull this through and hopefully get it through to the other side. As far as removing the door panel, there is one screw there. There's two underneath our little grab handle here, and then there's two at the bottom, and there's a bunch of these clips here which you just have to grab a hold of it and pull it out carefully and then pop it out of the top, and you can get it to get out of your way like this. So let's get this pulled through, and then we can route it down here with our factory wiring. So I'm not gonna lie, this one was a little bit tricky just because you do have to get this big harness plug end through a very small space. Now, it is possible, we did get there, but it did take a little bit of struggle, and I cut a little bit of this grommet just like they suggest to get this exactly where we have it, and then I'm gonna use some harness tape to kind of tie it all up as it goes in over here to the footwell, where we can then disconnect it just like we just disconnect our factory plug for our power for our door. And then we do have it routed through in a little kind of a trick that I used, and they do suggest this as well, is when you get your fish through, you kind of want to push it down and over. That's key, because trying to go straight across is not going to work. There's a lot that can get in your way there as far as just getting caught on the other wire, and it's a very tight spot. So take your time, don't pull too hard and break something. Just, it takes a little bit of patience, but you'll get there. And then over on this side, you'll see we have our factory plug and we have our new Boost auto plug. And if you wonder why I have these twisted, is because, well, I've had to fish both of these out of this door already at some point or another. So put a little tape on or something. They do want to sneak in there. So save yourself a little bit of headache and yeah, secure those. So next up, we're going to be plugging in both of our plugs to our mirror, setting it in place, and then we can reuse our factory hardware and tighten this thing down. So now the door panel is back in place. Everything is buttoned up there. We have our bolts tightened up for our mounting, and just have to do a little bit of wiggling, whatever, to get those to line up, but it wasn't really that hard. Make sure your connectors are connected properly. Now you can see how much bigger that mirror is from our factory, and everything is nice and quality. We still have our fold away function there. No matter how hard you hit it, you're never going to hit the glass or anything like that. You got lots of clearance. Open it up, locks into place. It does fold away the other way as well. If you do have that, you know, you hit a tree or something like that, you don't want this thing to break off. And now we do have the lights on the reverse side, and this is our view from the front. We have our switchback turn signal here with running light, and then we have these front lights as well, which I can't wait to see what they look like when we got them hooked up. So this is our view from a little further back of our new mirror, and then we can go over to the driver's side and see that boring little tiny mirror, which really they could do better. I mean, it's okay, but there's nothing special about that. But when you look over there, you got a big mirror now, and definitely for the trail, you want to see what's going on, and those extra lights are really going to help with that. All right, so I have some temporary wiring hooked up just so we can see what these lights look like, especially now that it is dark out. And you can see we do have our reverse light on right now, and obviously the door is not completely closed because our wiring is hanging out the side of it, but this is what it looks like in the garage. And you can see there's a very nice clear white light that it throws. Kind of get a back look of it here. You can see how bright that light is, and it'll be nice to see once I have it all completely hooked up permanently how far this goes, but we'll be doing that probably back in Pennsylvania where we have the acreage. It gets really nice and dark out there, and you can really see how far the light actually travels. But very impressed so far and how much light you do get from that, especially if you're on a trail, you're trying to back up and there's trees and everything in your way. This is really going to help you see those things before you hit them. And then here's our spotlights. We do have these 4 LEDs built right into the mirror, which is really nice. It's a compact package. You don't have to have extra brackets hanging around for lighting. Just really kind of keeps it all centralized here. And the angle really puts it forward. It's almost in line with the headlights almost. So it's not like a ditch light where I usually turn mine way out this way. So you can have that in addition. You can do pretty much whatever you want, but just to have that extra light in the mirror, you can't argue with that. And once we have it in an outdoor setting, we can see how far they go. But I mean, any additional light on a Jeep, you know that you want to have that. You want to have everything you can possibly get, especially when you're trying to deal with trails at night. And then here is with the lights on, you can get a little bit more of a view of those beautiful lights right there and how they make that new mirror really stand out. And then here we have our sequential signal light, which is really an upgrade for this Jeep because this one has the incandescent headlights, which I absolutely hate. I need to change that up at some point, but this is taking it into the future a little bit where we do have that diffused LED. Looks very, very modern, and I love the sequential look. I'm so glad LEDs have been advancing as well as they have been, that we can get stuff like this for our Jeeps and vehicles of any kind really, and just make them look awesome. I mean, look at that. Who doesn't want to have that beautiful signal light on the side of their Jeep? And of course we need the night shot. Look at that. If they can't see you signaling with that on, well, I don't know. They might have to get their eyes checked. And then of course our daytime running light, and that is just as impressive as our signal light. And these are a switchback too, so when you go away from your signal light, it goes back to this. And I wish I could show you as I hooked it up when it came on, because it does almost do like a little kind of animation when it turns on. It looks really, really cool, and it's very nice clean light, as you can see. A lot of times, like if I have a cheap LED on my camera, it will flash, and these, you can see everything is very nice and smooth. Now we'll turn the lights out and see how much light this thing throws at nighttime. And there it is. You can see everything is lit up very, very well. And then we'll kind of step back here a little bit, just like we did with the spotlights. And you can see how it just gives a very nice glow on everything. It's not that direct light that's gonna travel a lot further. It's just gonna keep a very nice glow for your area, for your campsite, for whatever. And I think it looks awesome. You gotta have lights. More lights is better, in my opinion. So there it is, everybody, a quick install on our mirrors and just kind of showing you guys the basics of getting these installed on your Jeep. And then wiring, you can go into the Boost Auto YouTube channel. They do have a full description of how they did all the wiring and the taps and all that kind of stuff for this kit. But for me, obviously, we are going to be doing things a little bit custom, and I'm going to be doing it my way. I'm going to show you guys how we're going to integrate this, just because I want to have a little bit more control with some auxiliary switches and whatnot like that. So stay tuned for that video as well. But drop in the comments, what do you guys think of the look of these new mirrors and the functionality and all of that? Because I think they are an awesome addition to any Jeep. So to get yours, definitely check out the link in the description. Big thanks to Boost Auto for sending these out. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.